Jordan, so sorry about what happened this year, but how you doing right now, my friend?
Hey, doing well. Happy to be out here to support the team. 2 weeks post-op, so thank God for traveling mercies and all that.
You look good standing without those crutches. Hey, you've been in Jason Bean's shoes last year, really with the matchup, with something to prove for the opposing quarterback as well. What was your message to Jason leading into this game?
I just told him, play his ball. This is Bean's time now, so just go out there, play like how he did last week, take care of the football, and use his legs. I mean, this guy is fast. This guy can throw downfield. He's the whole package, so just continue to lead this team. They're all looking for him to lead this team, and he just got to do Bean football.
Jordan, we'll let you get back to supporting your teammates.
Thank you.
The UFL Championship game MVP from a year ago, Jordan Ta'amu.
Appreciate you guys.
Deion Jackson went for 2 yards on first down. And now Jackson catches a seam. Deion Jackson with a chunk play for DC.
Boy, watch all the lateral movement here. Everybody flowing that way, and Deion Jackson does a great job of reading that quickly, cutting it back. That's just an outside or inside zone. Great vision from Deion Jackson. That's when this DC team is at its best. Rushed for 218 yards against this Louisville Kings defense in Week 8.
20-yard run here for Jackson. Patiently looking and probing, and works his way to just inside the 30-yard line. That was Keaton Ellis, former Penn State defensive back, with the tackle.
Number 4 is 11. Billy Yella, under. Billy Yella, under. Hey, tell him watch the screen. This is a screen here. Watch the pop, watch the pop.
Here, Jamie Sharper, the defensive coordinator for Louisville, saying, watch the screen. This is a screen here. Bean, pocket collapsing, and he is taken down that time. And that was Daniel Graziak.
Boy, once again, great job on the outside of not rushing past the quarterback, but condensing the pocket into him. When you got an athletic quarterback, you don't want to open up any run lanes for him. Look at the pocket just closed down around Jason Bean. Nowhere to go with the football and nowhere to run for the quarterback with 4.5 speed.
So now a 3rd and 8. Smith shifts in. Bean trying to wiggle his way ahead, and there just wasn't that much there. Only picks up a yard. So with that, Matt McCrane, the outstanding place kicker, will come in. A week ago, Matt McCrane sealed the semifinal win with a 61-yard field goal in the 4th quarter. His 3rd 4-point field goal of the season. One of the great rule changes in the UFL that everybody has enjoyed. This from 48. Great lift, great rotation, and puts it through.
Just 45 yards a game, worst in the UFL since that point. 145 yards a game, one of the best rushing attacks. That's helped out Chandler Rogers, but man, the culmination of a competition between 2 quarterbacks that goes back to high school just getting warmed up here.
From Lake Ridge High School in Mansfield, Texas, where Jason Bean and Chandler Rogers were high school teammates, to then this was the scene earlier this year with the numbers for Bean when they were together in Louisville, and obviously the success then they've had with Rogers. We had a good conversation with Chris Redmond, the Louisville head coach. He said, as the season went on, we created a very good culture, and that was critical.
I think that's the most important thing they did, Tess, is they cleaned up the locker room, got rid of the locker room lawyers. The guys that were going to be in were either going to buy in, and there was going to be only one way that they were going to do it. And you got to credit Chris Redmond a ton as a first-year head coach.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had to make some tough decisions at a very difficult part, and he trusted his gut, and here he finds himself playing for a championship.
11 on deck.
Who's, of course, Chris Redmond himself, a star player who was part of the Super Bowl 35 winning team with the Baltimore Ravens, but a first-year head coach making big decisions like that to shake things up. Rogers, quick pass, and that ball is loose, and they are ruling it incomplete as Isaiah Winstead was the intended target. So this is the 2nd drive for Louisville. Their first drive got into DC territory. but it's stalled out, having to go for it on 4th down.
And you can see DC already bringing the pressure. Bryce Thompson blitzed off the left edge there. Chandler Rogers forced to throw the football without a good grip on it.
Isaiah Winston a little slow coming off the field.
And
this was Ian Wheeler, so running back and receiver banged up.
Timeout for medical.
Officials are going to have a medical timeout here. Chris Redmond looks on. Of course, he was a Louisville legend in college, a Louisville Cardinal Hall of Famer. Left Louisville as their all-time passing leader. Won the Unitas Award as a senior back in 1999. The son of a legendary high school football coach back in Kentucky.
Well, remember how hot it is down there. Everybody getting a swig of water. Cramping and handling the heat is going to definitely play a factor today.
Well, and Jordan, remember the Louisville sideline's completely under a shade as opposed to the DC sideline. My man Sam Acho over there is baking under a sun lamp.
That is the benefit of being designated as the home team in this United Bowl. James Robinson, as he was brought down and quickly at about the 48-yard line.
Here we go, Logan, right there.
That's a great point you're making, Tess. Usually DC's on the opposite sideline in the shade by design. But they're the away teams, they're in the sun in this 90-plus degree heat.
That's right, Sam. We already mentioned the jersey choice as well. Louisville designated the home team, but they chose to wear their lighter shaded road jerseys, so they get the shade with the benefit of that sideline. Nearly 90 degrees, very humid here in Washington, D.C. on this Saturday.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Did you hit your head? Okay.
I'm going to take Tariq Black off to the medical tent for a moment.
The official actually made him go off the field. I think he kind of saw him stumbling around there in the huddle.
He's been a really big part of their success recently. Even as a blocker, as a receiver, had a big-time block, cracking down to spring the 51-yard touchdown last week with Ian Wheeler.
Gotta have a body on Derek Roberson.
They're down in 7 as James Robinson will take it out to the 46-yard line, tackled by Andre Mintz, one of the great stories of the UFL postseason, as he was just signed over a week ago. He was an outstanding player for DC a year ago. He was working as a C-level sweep professional, and then they signed him to bring him back to get some extra pass rush.
Tess, he retired. He was done with football until 2 weeks ago. Coach texted him, hey, you got 2 more in you? You got some paid time off you can take? We could sure use you for a playoff run, and he answered the bell.
Mac Brown into punt away for Louisville. And it checks up inside the 5 and then takes a hard left turn. What a punt by Mac Brown. As if he was steering it. Checks up inside the 5 and turns left.
It looked like a good 8 to 9 feet all in one fitting.
So now after the sensational pin punt, and the flag is going to come in. They're going to whistle this dead. Remember, moments ago, there was a sensational pin punt by Mac Brown. So DC starting off at their own 2-yard line. This is our first flag of the game.
Number 18, elevated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And that'll give them some breathing room, Jordan.
Yeah, great hard count down there. This is something Louisville struggled with. Cam Gill, 11 sacks on the year, leads the UFL. He has a really good jump on the ball. All these Louisville defenders try to get a really good jump on the ball. Struggled last week, couple penalties. St. Louis went hard count, so great usage of that there from Jason Bean to give himself some breathing room.
Valladay on the carry. As he gets it to the 10-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and short.
And neither team right now doing a great job on first down. That's why we've seen so many third longs. Really imperative on this down right here. If you're Louisville, watch Jason Bean's legs. They've done a great job at containing him in the pocket so far. But these second downs, when it could be run or pass, or when he's extremely dangerous with his legs.
Xavier Valladay again, and here he goes. Valladay, watch out. Ball is punched out. That's a live football bouncing into the end zone. And it is punched out by Ellis and recovered by Louisville and Cameron Dantzler. So it'll be Louisville football and a touchback as Xavier Holiday was tracked down and turned it over. What a wild play.
Wow, great blocking up front first and foremost. Valladay hits the hole, and it seems like he's gone. But Keaton Ellis with a heads-up play, knowing Valladay didn't even see him coming, punches it out. That is a high IQ football play from Keaton Ellis, the former team captain at Penn State. Are able to recover in the end zone. What a swing for Louisville.
Keaton Ellis, who grew up right there in State College, Pennsylvania, and went on to star at Penn State, Tom.
Yeah, I got Keaton Ellis right here, man. What a hustle play. That's how you make championship plays right there. What was going through your mind as you're chasing that down?
I mean, initially, just get him down, stop the bleeding. While running, obviously, he kind of had it loose in the back. Took my shot. Made sure I tried to secure a tackle, too, if I missed it. Man, God's great, man. Ended up getting my hand on the ball. Made the play.
Outstanding, man. Good job.
Appreciate you.
With the unprecedented access that we are afforded here in the UFL, to have Keaton Ellis run the distance of the field, make that incredible punch-out forced fumble, and then seconds later be interviewed by Tom Luganville. It's excellent stuff by Keaton Ellis.
Remember, these teams played each other twice this year, and the storyline was DC turning the football over. They turned it over 8 times in those 2 matchups. And once again, Louisville forces yet another one on an even bigger play.
So 1st and 15 after the penalty. Here is Wheeler, and Wheeler is met, pushed back by Bryce Thompson.
Boy, right now, DC has 0 respect for a vertical passing game from Louisville.
Kick strong. Short G, spin, kick strong.
They are loading the box and daring Louisville to throw the football.
I'll tell you in a second.
Chandler Rogers just 2 completions for 12 yards so far.
Look at all of these guys in the box.
Wow. Here's your 2nd and 13, and that is incomplete as Garyon Conley had coverage of Isaiah Winston, former 1st-round draft pick by the Raiders in the NFL.
Great coverage there from Conley. There really haven't been too many guys open, even on a couple of the early completions for Rogers. It was tight coverage. I said it to start this game. This is one of the most talented secondaries in the UFL with the 1st-round draft picks. The safety talent they have, tough task for these Louisville receivers.
Yeah, both corners were drafted in the 1st round of the NFL draft. And Rogers, as he makes his way out to the 29-yard line on what was 3rd down and 13. So the punt team will trot out there for Louisville, and head coach Chris Redman. Defense came up big after that long run by DC. Ended up being a turnover and a touchback, but now punting away. Kiki Cutie is the return man. We'll see if Mac Brown gives him a chance as he turns this sky punt over and is fielded at the 20. And QT muscles ahead just beyond the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and this is what makes Jason Bean so dangerous. His 4.5 speed and athleticism that caused fits for Orlando last week. And I mentioned earlier, don't rush past the level of the quarterback. You see defenders getting behind the quarterback. That means it opens up a big rushing lane for Jason Bean, and that's when his athleticism can take over. But what I love last week is that he wasn't just a step up and run guy. He stepped up, found the lane, and kept his eyes downfield a few times. Hits a big play here to Cornell Powell on a 3rd down, I believe. Hit another big play to Braylon Sanders in that game outside the pocket. So far tonight, though, or today, I guess, Louisville doing a great job of condensing the pocket, not allowing those big rushing lanes for Bean to use that athleticism. Let's see if the trend continues.
Gets the ball out quickly and gets it complete to Ty Scott. And Ty Scott drags Mayfield ahead for extra yardage to the 45-yard line.
And expect more of those now passes. I was here on the sideline watching the DC defenders, offensive staff talk. They said, hey, man, if we see Louisville play that far off, get it out to our receivers and get it out to them quickly. So expect more of that if Louisville wants to continue to play about 7 or 8 yards off. That
was the case with Ty Scott right there, Sam. 13-yard reception for Scott. Keeper with Bean. Bean's a long strider if he can square the shoulders and get upfield. Passes midfield. Good run on first down.
You see Bean get up a little slowly. Remember that left shoulder he injured last week against Orlando, left the game. It actually popped out of socket, got it back in, was able to come back in the game, but it's going to be heavily taped there. You see him fall down there on that left shoulder.
He was writhing in pain a week ago. We didn't know if we would see him again, and he comes back into that semifinal game, guides the offense to over 400 yards of total offense. That is incomplete as he was looking to get it to Scott again. This is the injury that you were citing last week, Jordan.
Yeah, Bean does the right thing here. He slides, but defender comes on top of him at the end there. You can hear how much pain he was in. I'm with you, Tess. I didn't think he was coming back into the game, and then he trotted back in after the Spencer Sanders interception, finished the game. Didn't want to wear a bulky brace, so they just taped it up to support that shoulder as much as possible.
3rd down and 1. Smith. Well, he is met right near the line of scrimmage, and he is going to be short of the line to gain. It was Jaheim Thomas. So it's going to be 4th down. Congratulations on this year. I think you have to reflect on things and feel very good as we sit here at the United Bowl.
Joe, Jordan, thanks for having me, man. It's, 10 months in, I got to tell you, it very rarely does something exceed my expectations, but this crowd and this United Bowls is right there. It's really exciting what we've done the first year.
Stay with us for a moment, Mike, as going to open up this second quarter with a 4th and 1. And this is going to be really close, and I think Deion Jackson may have been pushed back and stopped, and we have a turnover on downs here by Louisville. As the defenses are really stamping themselves, Jordan.
Boy, great job on the interior. Travis Bell, Josiah Brunson. Look at the penetration between the A-gaps. Nowhere to go for Deion Jackson. One of those wrinkles that Mike Rapoli instituted this year. You can't punt it when you cross the 50. He also added the 4-point field goal. Mike, how pleased are you with some of those wrinkles that you brought to the game, and could we see some further innovation as we continue on next year?
I mean, Jordan, so far between the four-point field goal and really the no punting has been so great because it starts drives like right in the middle of the field.
And it played a role in how we have this matchup as well. We had 4-point field goals last week in both semifinal games. Mike, where are things headed here? Obviously, you had new markets this year. You had 6 new venues. Where are things headed? I know you've discussed expansion.
Well, we're going to have expansion in 2028. Oklahoma City is definitely coming in. They're going to have a new stadium there. And Russ Brandon and my team, starting Monday, are going to start to look at 4 or 5 different facilities for the second team. And we're going to watch the 8 teams we have right now. And, the one thing, Joe and Jordan, is the smaller venues are definitely working, and it's been great football.
They go jet motion here on 2nd and 6 with Winstead trying to turn the corner, and he does so successfully. Mike, we're going to let you enjoy the game. You're going to have work to do with us later today, handing out a trophy for the United Bowl. Great to always visit with you, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate what you guys do. You guys have been great. Thank you.
That is Mike Rapoli, the energized co-owner of the UFL, who instituted and pushed for the rule changes that have been dynamic, the new markets, the better venues, and he's not done yet. He has been talking this week with all the interviews about future markets that he's interested in, incremental growth with TV ratings, with the relevancy and awareness of the league this year, and now this exciting United Bowl. First down for Louisville after the turnover of downs. Taking it straight ahead is James Robinson. Hey, Jordan, you were busy last night. The awards dinners in the UFL you hosted.
Handed out some hardware. Jack Plummer from the Orlando Storm, the most valuable player. Cornell Powell, Sportsman of the Year. Anthony Beck, Coach of the Year. Cam Gill here on the field, Defensive Player of the Year. We had a lot of hardware and a lot of players were celebrating last night.
Now, it's interesting to reflect on Anthony Beck. He did such an outstanding job. They were the best team in the league, was Orlando, all season long, the #1 seed. And then last week, playing down there in Daytona, Florida, because of a conflict with international soccer constraints, this DC team pulled off the upset. But Coach Beck was honored last night as Coach of the Year. Again, if you want to watch this 2026 United Bowl from Skycam coverage, we do have that version available for you. It's on the ESPN app. You get the same audio and access that we are giving you here on ABC, but you can go to the ESPN app and watch the entire United Bowl from that perspective of a Skycast. 3rd down and 8. Here's Rodgers on 3rd and 8. They pick up the blitz up the middle. Oh, did he take a hit as he throws it downfield, and it is picked off by Kai Gray. An interception, as it was Derek Parrish who just lit up Chandler Rodgers.
Boy, watch Brandon Smith. He is going to fake like he's dropping, and he's going to blitz right after that. So he fools the left guard, Tunstall, and he's able to provide the initial pressure that forces Rodgers out of the pocket, and the massive hit led to the interception for Kai Gray downfield. This matchup between DC and Louisville has been a physical one for Chandler Rodgers. Each game he has taken massive hits, and once again it pays off for DC.
Well, we hyped it as the top 2 scoring offenses in league history. But the defenses have come to play. An interception and a 3-zip game as the United Bowl will continue after these messages and a word.
I asked him if his dad was going to hurt this time, so, you know.
And then, Derek, when you had a hit today, what did you see on that last play?
I saw him running free, and then it's our job to run through his face. So that's what we're going to do. We got 3 more quarters of that, so that's the intention.
Oh, show that card one more time. Describe to us what's on the card so we can see it up personal.
Boom, up close. You know, he said, yeah. I'm gonna put your head on the new one after this game. You feel me? So yeah, that's what it is.
Appreciate it, D-Row.
Yes,
you do not mess around with Derek Roberson. He dominated, by the way, last week's semifinal at Orlando. Had a 4th down sack, had 2 TFLs, had a pass breakup. And that clip we showed you went absolutely viral on social media. Here's Ty Scott. Ball is out. The ball is out. It is scooped up, and it is brought back by Guerrer. Eric Guerrer returns it for a touchdown.
Boy, it's just a quick bubble throw to Ty Scott. And Mayfield on the tackle puts his helmet, I think, right on the ball. Quick, easy throw for Bean into your playmaker's hands. And look at, ball. Helmet on the ball from Corey Mayfield, and Eric Guerrer closes it out for the touchdown. Turnovers have been the Achilles heel for DC in the last 2 matchups with Louisville, already 2 today. 1 for a touchdown.
And the other eliminated a massive play that would have put DC into scoring position. The defenses are really the headline makers today. Tanner Brown on for the point after, as he puts it through.
Mr. Mayfield taking care of business, stopping the run, playing that stock block. What'd you see? What would you leverage there to make sure you were in position to make that play?
Yeah, it was a good call by Sharp, man, and K-Dub up there in the stands. It was a cover 2 call. I got a block. It was a bubble. I triggered and just made the tackle. My boys was running hard, and they returned it for a touchdown.
This football team has completely turned around their fortunes from midseason on. How did this happen?
Man, we just believed. We believed in our coaches. We believed in each other. We believed in everybody around, media, from top all the way to bottom.
Nice job, man.
Hey, thank God. Hey, Mama, I love you, Mama. I love you, Mama.
Corey Mayfield Jr., who had 10 takeaways this season. That was the most in the UFL. He had a game at Dallas that we covered where he had 2 interceptions. in a game. And at the end of that PAT, Jalen Thomas, who's the right guard for Louisville, remained down on the field. So the medical team is out to. Of course, the story coming into this game was the history between these quarterbacks, Jason Bean for DC and Chandler Rogers for Louisville. They played together at Lake Ridge High School in Mansfield, Texas. Their head coach was Kirk Thor, and Kirk Thor joins us now. Kirk, what is this experience like for you to have your former high school quarterbacks now playing for a pro championship?
It's like Father's Day. You know, you got two of your guys out here and you're watching them, and every single play is you feel like you're on pins and needles. I'm more nervous now watching them than I am coaching football games.
Kirk, share with us some conversations you had with Jason and Chandler today.
Yeah, you know, I just told both of them. I just told them, hey, go compete and have fun. I'm proud of you and I love you. And I just want those guys to go play hard because their character's so good. Obviously, they're great skills, but I think what makes them special is they're great athletes and they have great character. And when you can do those both, you maximize your potential. So that's why I'm so proud of those guys.
Coach, what do you remember about those competitions? Because Chandler was a sophomore, Jason was a junior. They kind of split time. And then Chandler won the job as a junior, ended up getting injured later. But what do you remember about the competition between those two guys earlier?
You know, it was fierce on the field, but I've told a lot of people this week is the amazing thing is when you have two quarterbacks like that compete, they could divide a locker room in a hurry. And we see that in the world of sports. Those guys did not. Those guys said, hey, we're both quarterbacks. We're going to have one team. There's not a Chandler camp. There's not a Jason camp. We're Lake Ridge football, and we're two QBs better than one. And that says a lot for high school kids, and I will always remember that about those guys.
Hey, Kirk, enjoy the rest of your early Father's Day here with your two former quarterbacks now playing as pro quarterbacks going after a championship. We're going to take a timeout as Jalen Thomas is being tended to by them.
Everybody else is new or in a new position. So big loss for Louisville as they need to get the ground game going.
Mizukama on the return as he fights his way to the 25-yard line. That Louisville defense has come up big today, Troy.
Yeah, it's been back and forth. I think the original concern was not letting Jason Bean beat you with his legs, and they checked that box. The problem is DC's had some success on the ground. Xavier Valladay, a massive game-changing run until Keaton Ellis comes from behind and punches it out. And then another game-changing play from this Louisville defense. Another punch-out, this time Corey Mayfield. Eric Guerra picks it up for the touchdown. Louisville defense forcing 2 turnovers. That's now 10 total turnovers in a little over 2 games against this DC offense. The trend continues.
Consider what DC would have had for field position on that long Valladay run, and then the massive forced fumble by Corey Mayfield that Guerra picks up and scores with. And now here's Deion Jackson with a good run. That'll start off this drive, moving the chains.
The zone running game, the lateral movement from the offensive line for DC has been great. Both Valladay and Deion Jackson, great job of reading and finding those cutbacks.
Back to work is Deion Jackson. 28 NFL games played. Was named All-UFL this year.
No, Jordan, we saw a little bit of this ground game last week where DC had some success versus Orlando. We discussed you're so concerned about Bean's legs that you find yourself overcompensating and then opening up inside gaps.
This is Valladay. Goes ahead for just a couple of yards. It'll be third and short.
Next time, do it with the slot with the Glenn. Okay. But it's third down right here. Third and 2.
Interesting place where the ball is, guys.
It really is, because that 50-yard line, you cannot punt if the ball goes inside the 50-yard line. So there's a scenario where they could gain yardage, be short, and be forced to go for it on 4th down. So let's watch what happens here closely. And Valladay, they're not going to have to worry about that. Xavier Valladay, score it, DC. A 51-yard touchdown by Valladay. What redemption, considering he had the long run earlier where the ball was punched out and recovered by Louisville. Matt McCrane on for the PAT.
Well, it's a great job by Valladay, because there's going to be a free rusher on this side. He's just got to break that tackle, and watch right after he breaks this tackle. So right here, pause it right here. Watch both these defenders get inside, so nobody outside. For Valladay, two guys get in one gap, and all it takes is a missed ankle tackle, and Valladay is out to the races. Two broken tackles, one missed assignment by a guy that should be outside, gets caught inside, and you got a long touchdown for DC.
I'm here with Xavier Valladay. Two big plays. One went in your way, one didn't. What did you see?
For sure. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, what did you see on that last play?
I saw pressure. We didn't get it. Our offensive lineman, we didn't get up to it, but I saw it with my peripheral, so I had to make sure I had to use all the tools in my repertoire bag just to be able to defeat the block. I kept my head up when I saw the DN was trying to get off my tackle's block, so I bounced it out to the outside. CP had a good block, and it was a home run from there. I had to make up from the first one I had. So all glory to God.
Thanks so much, Xavier.
Appreciate you.
Hudson on the return, and a fired-up special teams unit downfield with good coverage. And all of a sudden, you start to hear that little roar, that buzziness here at Audi Field at Buzzard Point. Home team up 10-7. Home team in terms of reality. Road team in terms of the assignments for this United Bowl is DC.
Story for this Louisville offense so far, just 48 total yards. They have not been able to get the run game going. DC is selling out. They're stacking everybody in the box. They're playing tight man coverage on the outside with one high safety. At some point, Louisville's got to try to take a shot in one-on-one coverage, or DC is going to continue to suffocate this run game, make it really difficult on Chandler Rogers and this offense to get things going.
Officials are going to take a timeout to clean up the field. A football was thrown onto the field.
Boy, that golden beer snake.
Yeah, that's why a football is often thrown on the field.
3/4 of the way up. This thing is going to reach the top and some today.
You got the normal regular season beer snake, but today it is the golden beer snake, as they have replaced the clear cups with gold cups to see if they can take home some gold and win a championship in the 2026 United Bowl. Brandon Smith with the tackle on Ian Wheeler. When it is complete, it's 5,000 plus cups emptied.
And they ain't small.
No, as you found out recently when you chugged one. It was one of the best sections in all pro sports to be in. They just have a blast all game long. 2nd and 4. And keep it on the ground with Wheeler. And he is stacked up and tackled for a loss as Derek Roberson and the bunch get after Wheeler.
And that one was all Joe Wallace. Big number 7 down there is going to take a double team. Right here, watch the penetration. They can't move him anywhere. There is nowhere to go. Joe Wallace doesn't stack up the stat sheet very much, but he has a huge impact on slowing things down up front and opening things for Derek Roberson on the edge.
His 4th year with DC is Joe Wallace. He's a 300-pounder. His measurables aren't great with height, but they're great with width. 3rd and 5. And the flag comes in.
False start number 76 to 76.
False start, offense number 72. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
McAllister just trying to get a jump there. These are the moments third and longs, passing situations that Andre Mintz was signed out of retirement for. Number 48 on DC. Still working his job remote. Obviously not today. Forced a lot of double teams from Orlando last week. He's a pass rush specialist.
They're down in 10. Here's Rodgers on the run, and he takes a hit at the 35-yard line from Sam Kidd. Well, we showed you what Derek Roberson did to him earlier this season. Now Sam Kidd getting a look in.
Yeah, this is another big hit. A great job stepping up and escaping from Rodgers, but he's got to get down and protect himself because he gets a myth.
Kidd was the first there, and then Smith cleans it up. So Mac Brown in to punt away. Kiki QT is the return man. Mac Brown's punt is driven to just inside the 10-yard line. And it's ABC, of course, home to the Stanley Cup final.
What an environment we have here in DC. This is the championship game environment that Mike Rapoli and everybody involved with the UFL envisioned. A packed house, a beer snake reaching the top before halftime.
And a really good, fiery, competitive game. I mean, this thing is being contested. It is chippy. It is hard hitting. Abram Smith, big running back, former Baylor star, had one of the greatest Sugar Bowl performances of all time when he went for 172 yards in that win against Ole Miss. Sam?
One of the best things about UFL football is that we get a chance to hear the calls and interpret the calls. So I'm here with backup quarterback E.J. Perry, who's trying to get the call right now, and he's going to tell us what the play means.
So we're going to yak the tight end over and run inside zone, reading the backside end. He's going to split flow here. Hold it, and he's out. Get out, get out, get out. First down.
And Jason Bean strides out. All right, let's stay with E.J. Perry there, Sam.
All right, E.J., we're going to stay with you. We're going to let him listen in, and then we'll ask him what it means.
Flex right clean. Flex right clean. T-jet. T-jet. Bleed. Z-glance. Bleed. Z-glance.
So we're going to jet our guy over here, and then we're going to have the back guy off the ball. We're going to jet the T, and then the Z is going to have a glance, and we're going to run inside zone with a glance. We're going to read this guy, this safety here. He comes down. Yeah, he pulled it. Oh, just got tipped at the line of scrimmage.
That ball was incomplete, as Ukama was the intended target. Great to be able to listen in to the former Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year, E.J. Perry.
Ace right, Roger, inside zone, and we're going to read the backside end. And then we have a bubble out here to the field.
What are you expecting, what you see?
He's going to hand it off here.
And that's exactly what he does to Abram Smith on second down. So it'll be third and about 3. Fred Kai's the offensive coordinator. E.J. Perry, the veteran quarterback, backing up Jason Bean.
Flex left, Zoe. White, white, white. Flex left, Zoe.
So
White, white, white.
Here.
Alert,
we got
1-2-2 sludge. 1-2-2
we got a return
sludge.
motion, and he's going to fake like it's a jet. Try to draw the guys off sides, and then we're going to alert it to flood, which is a fake play action bootleg with a flood pass concept. Yep, we got him. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So here's the free play. And it's incomplete, looking for Ty Scott.
Here we go.
And you're going to get the flag downfield as Corey Mayfield was in coverage, Jordan.
I can't control myself.
No, you're good. You're good.
I like football too much, you know?
E.J. Perry saying, I can't control myself. I like football too much. The son of a legendary high school football coach in Massachusetts, the nephew of the Ivy League head coach at Brown.
There are 2 fouls, both on the defense.
Tell me what you have.
Were they 2 different acts? Or you had one act that
I had a face mask. It was grabbing the mask of the defender in one act. I had no foul until the grab to the mask.
Okay, there is a quick grab of the mask.
If it's one act, it's the same yardage. Or no, it's DPI. Yeah.
I'm just trying to confirm where this occurs.
Let's listen into the Morgan & Morgan Command Center with Dean Blandino.
Okay, the contact's about the 35-yard line. So go ahead, you can make your announcement, and then we'll go PI, just PI. Yep.
There are 2 fouls, both on the defense. Offside defense number 91 in the neutral zone. At the snap, that penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense number 12. That's a spot foul, automatic first down.
Yeah, it's Corey Mayfield working on Ty Scott. You see the right hand just gets up on the face mask. Right there, he's got it. Ty couldn't track the ball because of their interference there. Great call, but I love the play design. Did exactly what they wanted. They wanted to get him to jump offside. They did. Then they take advantage of it, take a free play downfield, and it pays off.
Well, let's listen into one more play with Sam Macho and quarterback EJ.
3-by-1 here with the tight end backside to get all of a man zone tail here. We're going to go 29, which is outside zone. We're going to lock the backside in and read the backer for a glance. He handed it off, cut upfield.
Abram Smith does try to cut upfield for just a couple of yards. Sam, great stuff with EJ. We'll let him go and get back to work there. EJ Perry, who was a starter in this league, now the backup to Jason Bean, played in the CFL, bounced around some NFL practice squads, began his career at Boston College, and then had great success as the Ivy League Player of the Year at Brown. Want to wish EJ and his wife Charlie best wishes as they're expecting their second child within weeks.
Well, EJ, they said you're expecting a second child. Anything you want to say before we let you go?
Yeah, Charlie, I love you. She's doing it all on her own right now, so she calls herself a single mother. But I'm coming home. I'm not going to be a deadbeat for long.
Abram Smith straight ahead. Good power run by Abram Smith. That's the kind of running we saw to him at Baylor.
I think she'll forgive you, EJ, if you bring some hardware home. This is what DC wants to do, though. Get the run game going, especially north and south here, as Abram Smith just leans off those blocks. But you're starting to see, as we got insight to the play calls from offensive coordinator Fred Kais, he's starting to tag a lot of these runs with RPOs. Last week, they took a lot of those decisions off the plate of Jason Bean. Didn't want him to think too much. Putting it back on his plate today.
Here's Bean keeping it, trying to get to that edge on the right side as he is chased down out of bounds. Corey Mayfield was there defensively. Mayfield, who had the forced fumble earlier, that was returned for a touchdown. Louisville's lone score of the day, 10-7 here at Audi Field.
Guys, we're seeing a ton of rotation along the defensive front for Louisville. As Jordan was talking about this run game getting going for DC, you're seeing some tired Kings wearing gray here right now on this drive.
Luke's total yards is DC 230 to Louisville 59. That ball is a live ball being fought for. And they are marking it at the 25 as DC will maintain possession. As Ukama was the receiver right there.
And that ball just on the back hip. That ball is going to be out in front. So as Ukama can catch it, run, had open space. So another miss there from Bean.
3rd down and 12. Jason Bean under pressure, downfield throw, and it's incomplete, well beyond Briley Moore. So Matt McCrane will come on to attempt the field goal.
Well, that was made by Cam Gill, the defensive player of the year. Gets inside of Duncan here to get pressure on Bean. He had to let this go way before he wanted to. Feels the pressure. Briley Moore's not even close to being out of his break. They didn't even have a chance there, but it was Cam Gill forcing the early throw. Finally getting involved in this game.
As we reach the 2-minute warning. A 9-play drive for DC and 26 United Bowl, plus all the analysis from Roddy Jones and Coach Rick Neuheisel with Zubin Mehenti. Great to have Coach in studio today. So 50 Cent coming up.
I hopped in the car with you the other day. You were rocking 50 Cent.
He's on all the club anthems. I always go with the club anthems. You know that. Matt McCrane coming off of the 2-minute warning after his excellent semifinal performance a week ago. And he puts it through. right into that beer snake section. 13-7 as DC is trying to win back-to-back championships in the UFL. You know, Jordan, we've talked about it for a while now, but it really is remarkable considering these two teams and how they've arrived here. I mean, the start of the season, Louisville was an absolute mess. They had to switch things up, not just with the personnel on the field, but a complete culture overhaul. And DC, you got to give credit to Shannon Harris, the head coach. They come into the postseason having lost 4 straight. They're without their starting quarterback. And the message was, everybody's 0-0. It's a new season. Don't think about it.
Yeah, and just 3 weeks ago, Jason Bean was the 3rd string guy. So to get on the run they have with Jason Bean has been fantastic for Shannon Harris. But Louisville, they got to get things going on the ground to open up the passing game. They have 59 total yards. They ran the football really well the last 2 times they played DC. But DC is selling out to stop the run. And Chris Redmond in this passing attack for Louisville has not had an answer. At some point, they got to try to soften up the defense, take a shot downfield, get them out of these loaded box looks, because otherwise, nothing's working for Louisville right now.
No, 18 passing yards for the Louisville Kings. Their touchdown came on a fumble return by Eric Guerra. Here's Tyler Hudson on the return. And he is met just beyond the 25-yard line. Both teams have all their timeouts remaining. Of course, the Super Challenge as well. Minute 52. Chandler Rogers, former high school teammate to his rival quarterback today, Jason Bean, former pro teammate earlier this season. They were both on Louisville. Said it was a very toxic environment on this team earlier. Said even after week 4, when we finally won, it just didn't feel like it. And then a complete overhaul for Louisville. But right now, they need to find an answer offensively. Rogers, they're looking for the screen, but not much there with Lucky Jackson.
Well, again, it's going to be tough to get those screens off when you got corners 2 or 3 yards in front of the receiver. I mean, there is no room on the outside right now. DC continues to dare this Louisville team to throw the football vertically.
2nd and 7. Rogers does go downfield, and it is picked off. That is intercepted by Kai Gray again on the return. And just before halftime, DC is going to have prime position to add to their lead.
Boy, Chandler Rogers gets fooled. He's watching Kai right here. He's thinking he's going to go that way. He doesn't. He goes to the middle of the field, and Rogers is trying to hit the seam route, which you only do against a 2-safety split look. So he is fooled by the late rotation. Great disguise there in late rotation from Kai Gray, and he is right there. Easiest interception he will ever have.
2 interceptions in this first half by Kai Gray.
And that's just not something you see from Chandler Rogers. He is usually so good at knowing what a defense is in. But the late rotation there just fooled him. Because you only throw that ball down the middle to the tight end if it's cover 2. And you have a wide open middle of the field. Kai Gray was right there, and that's a big mistake from Chandler Rogers.
Keep balling.
And now DC takes over at the 13-yard line as Jackson is backed up. As a host of Kings defenders, including Stokes, right on the tackle. Sam?
And I'm here with Kai Gray. Kai, you got 2 picks. How many more you got in you?
I got a whole lot, probably 5 today. That's how I'm feeling.
What'd you see on that last one?
I saw the tight end trying to hit the seam. I felt like they should attack the seam. I just baited him into it. He threw it right to me. I was trying to take it back to the crib, but QB stopped me. But hey, I trust my offense to get in the end zone.
Thanks, Kai.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What a first half for Gray. 2nd down to the end zone. That is denied. Briley Moore was the intended target, but Jaheim Thomas defended the pass.
That's another time that Jason Bean is kind of predetermining where he's going to throw, because Cameron Dantzler was underneath that one. That is double covered. He has got to check that ball down to the shorter route. Remember 2 weeks ago, he threw an interception in the red zone, and the reason was his eyes. He's got to be very careful down here, staring receivers down. The windows get smaller in the red zone. The margin for error is much tighter.
And a timeout is going to be used by DC. 37 seconds remaining in this first half. A really offensively challenged first half for Louisville. This was the interception moments ago, the second of this first half by Kai Gray.
Yeah, you see Rogers working left first again, thinking it's going to be a different coverage, and Kai Gray was all over it. But you can't let the quarterback tackle you.
And then how do you celebrate when you're a DC defender and you have the golden beer snake? This is after an interception. Kai Gray just takes a golden beer snake cup filled to the rim. I mean, one of the rowdiest sections in all of pro sports, and they can't get enough, and he celebrates with them. There is nothing like the UFL.
He might regret that choice in a couple minutes as it just starts to get real sticky under that helmet. But man, what a way to celebrate, and he deserved it. Second interception of the day.
There's Bean on third down, utilizing the legs, but he is just tripped up by Guerrer. Guerrer, who had the fumble return touchdown earlier in this first half. So Matt McCrane,
I'm gonna call a timeout at 3
excellent
seconds.
kicker, will come out to the field for head coach Shannon Harris. And you heard him say he's going to utilize the timeout with just a few seconds to go in this first half.
Second charged. 30 seconds.
What will be the answer for Louisville
Easy walk-in touchdown
in this second half? They have to find something offensively. They only had 62 total yards against this DC defense.
Yeah. Guys, we're in first. We're in first.
Chris Redmond's got to get in the locker room, make some corrections on that side of the ball. They will get the ball, Louisville, on offense to start this second half. But they got to get back to the drawing board. Right now, they do not have an answer for what Blake Williams and this DC defense is throwing at them. Mixing in man coverage, unique zone looks, rolling coverage late. Right now, DC has the answer.
It was the interception moments ago that put them in position. And will they cash in with 3 points from Matt McCrane at the end of it? Yes, they do. So the DC defenders, they stumbled into the postseason as the number 4 seed, and they have a 9-point lead in the United Bowl. Luke's.
Yeah, so Chandler, how you flush that last play and get into the locker room, make some adjustments to start getting some offense going.
Yeah, just play the next play. That's the whole mentality. I said it before the game. Good things, bad things going to happen. Just weather the storm. And right now we're going through the storm. There's always sunshine after the rain. I mean, we're playing horribly right now. It's 16-7.
How do you create some more explosive plays?
Just executing the call. That's all it takes.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Sam?
Here with Jason Bean. Jason, a couple turnovers, but y'all still have a 9-point lead. What's going to be your message to the team at halftime?
Take care of the ball. Simple.
And what about for yourself? What can you do to ensure that your team comes out victorious?
Just continue taking what the defense is giving me. Just keep playing my game, not try to press too much.
And then any message, I know your coach has been very keen on, hey, it's just another game, but what do you feel? What's the feelings as you're going into halftime?
Like I said, as long as we take care of the ball, we'll be fine in the second half.
Thanks so much, Jason.
Thank you.
And if they are fine, they will be champions back to back.